Good evening, class. This week we've been studying attachment and temperament. For this discussion board, I've chosen to answer the question, can attachment theory explain abusive romantic relationships? If so, how? If not, why? In order to answer this, we need to do a little bit of a review of attachment theory. 3 attachment styles were proposed by Ainsworth. The secure infant plays comfortably in a new environment. He is unhappy when he is separated from his mother, but reconnects with her and is comforted when she returns. The anxious avoidant infant is not distressed when his mother leaves and avoids her when she returns. He plays alone and is distracted by his environment. The anxious ambivalent infant is anxious and unwilling to separate from his mother and is extremely upset when she leaves. He is distressed and doesn't return to play. When the mother returns, he doesn't settle well, and he seems angry at her. He appears to want to be comforted, yet may hit or push the mother away. Bowlby believed that attachment characterizes human experience from the cradle to the grave. Relationship patterns developed in childhood influence relationships across the lifespan. There is continuing research in attachment that has led to adult attachment theories. The securely attached adult has a positive view of himself and is worthy of love. He sees others as trustworthy. He is open and vulnerable with others, and he's comfortable with intimacy. He is warm and loving, and he expresses feelings openly. The avoidant adult has learned not to trust anyone emotionally. He takes care of himself and avoids attachment or closeness when possible. He does not express emotions well. He has trouble forming deep relationships. He suppresses feelings, or he keeps them people at a distance. The anxious adult hates to be alone. He is emotionally needy, clingy, and fears losing his partner. He is afraid of rejection and works at pleasing others in order to be accepted and loved. He is overly dependent and seeks constant approval and responsiveness from others. The abusive romantic relationships can be explained through the framework of attachment theory. So yes, it can. I believe the relationship with the greatest potential for violence would be that of an anxiously attached individual and an avoidant individual. The anxious person has anxiety over abandonment, and the response would be to be close to the partner with overly dependent behavior such as clinginess and emotional neediness. The avoidant person has great discomfort with closeness, and he becomes an aggressor and will try to push the partner away, which escalates anxiety over abandonment. The avoidant person attempts to get away or behaves abusively to drive the partner away. This intensifies if the anxiety person continues advancing upon the partner to keep them close. Another possibility would be an anxious aggressor. In a need for closeness and fear of abandonment, he can be triggered when his needs aren't met, and he responds with demands and aggressive behavior. If he feels like his partner is disengaging, he can react with violence by either pushing away or hitting, just as the anxious ambivalent infant does. He might lash out with anger and rage. Due to an insecure attachment, he can become jealous and mistrust his partner, especially if he perceives a threat of being abandoned. These are just 2 examples of how attachment theory can help explain abusive romantic relationships. Obviously, there is so much more to consider, but it is a starting place for explaining, and I've only discussed the aggressor side and not the victim's characteristics. The attachment theory framework actually has helped me to understand my own experiences in an abusive relationship. Without going into it, I can now see the aggression, the demands placed upon me and my kids, the fits of anger and rage, the jealousy and distrust to the point of telling me that if I ever left him, I'd be sorry, because if he couldn't have me, no one will. These could be behaviors that are the product of an insecure attachment. Thanks for listening, and good night.